The company has been unable to reach a deal or even come. There was a time when a decision was going to be made. Piper's own personal deal, another one of the holdups, is they don't want to put Lewis, his personal assistant, on payroll or pay for a ticket to fly him in. And Meltzer is going to speculate that Hulk Hogan probably pays for Jimmy Hart to come in on his own. And because of that, the two sides are at an impasse before TV, and Piper was not even mentioned on the show. And it was all worked out by the 15th. The following week, Piper was back, and they set up the match with Hogan. Unfortunately, the match was announced just 3 days before the pay-per-view, and for a bout like that to be effective, it would have needed a few weeks of build-up.
Yep.
How does this happen? How are we putting a guy on camera who's not under contract? And what do you remember about the stumbling block? Was it all about this personal assistant?
Mostly, yeah. It's asinine. You know, he wanted to break a trend that had been around forever. It's not like this guy's his valet. He's going to be appearing at ringside and earning his keep. He was an errand guy. He made sure, you know, even though the WWE did the travel, he'd follow up on travel and bullshit things, hotel reservations. Did Roddy have the right room, and did it have one bed or two, and all that stuff. It was not going to happen. Just wasn't going to happen. I think you're right. I'm not that I could verify it, but I think that Hogan, out of his own pocket, took care of Jimmy Hart.
Right.
And, but that wasn't the case here. I don't think Roddy wanted to do that. He's just too old school. But requesting that, I suggest this: if Hogan didn't have Jimmy Hart, then Roddy would not have wanted his guy to be in a similar role. That's just wrestlers, you know. So I don't, and it's not healthy. So anyway, Roddy outsmarted himself, and I love Roddy. I mean, he was so much fun to talk to, and we developed a good rapport thanks to Jerry Briscoe, because they had that run, and you know, they were in the Carolinas together for Crockett's Mid Atlantic, and it was Jerry helped me because Piper trusted no one.
Right.
I mean, he was in that Austin level, DTA, don't trust anybody. I'm not advocating you live your life that way, but if that's what it takes to row the boat, well, then have at it, get in the water. So that was the situation there with those guys. Roddy just didn't trust anybody. I knew that if we were going to, I like Roddy, and I thought Roddy could help us on a controlled basis. But we've got to get him signed, and we got to get this relationship on somewhat a trustworthy ground, as much as any veteran wrestler can trust the office.
Right.
And so Jerry Briscoe helped me come together with Roddy, and that helped build our relationship. And I never had any major issues with Roddy Piper. The guys want to know where am I going to work? You know, you're going to fly in first class. You're going to put him in a good hotel, which everybody got to stay in. You know, good Hilton, Marriott. You know, something name brand, not Joe's Inn. You know, type thing. So I liked working with Roddy. He's smart, and he kept you on your toes. And I thought that was kind of a nice little deal.